Hey guys, welcome back to another review, and today we'll be looking at my custom Guardians of the Galaxy. Well, I don't have Drax, Gamora, or Groot yet, but I'm planning on getting a Drax and Groot next, and then getting a few pieces for Gamora. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, here are the two Guardians accessory. These are from Starlord. And I did do a little bit of custom painting on them, not too much, just going around this area, going around that. I did it on both sides. And that was just a quick paint, and I didn't want to spend too much time. I painted the triggers too. And then this gun, you might have seen it before, came with Rocket. And I did a lot of custom painting on this. This was entirely black when I first got it, and I painted the little cushions in there red to match the suits, and then I painted this whole thing different shades of silver. And as you can see here, I painted this a different shade, all of it is 2 shades of silver, and I'll show you what paints I use next to make the figures. Okay, starting off with the bodies, I used Fist on Red from Citadel Paints, and I used, for like some darker shades of blue, Cantor Blue, and I also used a little bit of lead belcher, because some metal stuff needed to be painted, the boots and everything. And then if you noticed, this Starlord I made has a custom head here, and for this custom head I used both lead belcher, and well, that's Runefang steel, lead belcher. I also used this Wild Rider red, it's a bit of an orange color for his eye, and then the Flash gets yellow for his eyes again. And I used Retributor armor, gold there, and I used the Cantor blue again up on the top of the dome. So I didn't use any finishes except for a gloss finish on the eyes to give it a bit of a sheen. And yeah, that's all the paints I used. Okay, let's start out with the least customized one and the smallest one, Rocket Raccoon. And I didn't do too much with him. I did do a lot of painting, and he's probably my favorite repaint I've ever done, because I think I did a pretty good job on him, and I tried to make him as comic book accurate as possible. So on the tail, I removed all like the white, I painted over it with a black color, and I added a little tip onto the tail. And also I painted this section here, and to almost replicate the red gloves, and I'll put a picture up right there of the classic comic book Rocket Raccoon. And I like, this belt was completely black on the back, so I used the lead belcher to paint up these little pouches almost, and these lines here I painted up the these almost I don't know what they're really called. They might be like flaps or something, and I painted up there to add a little bit of accenting, like dark blue accents. And then up here I did some black, like dark blue accents on the shoulder pads there, if you look closely. And I also did that on this shoulder armor, and I did it right in there on the shoulder armor, on like the actual arm. And in between the red like little bands, I did some dark blue in there, and then I didn't have the same color blue for the suit, so I just took the Cantor blue because these suits were all black originally, and I put the Cantor blue all around where the fabric should be, and then I put a little bit of Cantor blue leading up. And I also did the blue up here on these, I don't know, they might be holsters because you see them on Starlord's costume, but they're not really used as holsters. And for the head, I just took the base head and I painted these, like the black stripes in there right next to the white. So, you know, I was trying to replicate the comics as much as possible. So I gave them red eyes, and I decided not to give them pupils or nothing. And I painted some black in the ears to replicate all the black bits on him. And these boots, I kind of just freehanded it, and I just decided to go crazy with it. So I painted it mostly red, and then I got some silver on the boots, as you can see there. And yeah, I think this would probably be my best repaint I have ever done. I am very proud of it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh wait, yeah, also I put hot glue in the head because I thought it sat too low on Raccoon to make him look a little bit better, because I thought it sat too low. Yeah, that's pretty much it with the Raccoon. And now let's take a look at what everyone's probably been waiting for, Starlord. And this Starlord, I got this custom head from Daisho Creations, I believe. Here, let me move up the camera a little bit. And yeah, it's just really sculpted real nice. I ordered it through the local toy shop near me. And yeah, this is my first ever custom painted head sculpt. And I'm just really proud of these repaints, because before I wasn't too good with the repaints. Yeah, and then I painted everything on this head. And then these guys, they were not painted good, not at all. Like, it was really lazy. The boots were completely black, so I just painted them red. And I get it that Star-Lord's boots aren't red, they're brown. And then with Rockets, sometimes there's boots and then sometimes there's not. And yeah, I got it, but like I just kind of went crazy with it, and I took the classic Guardians and I kind of remixed them. Well, it's not necessarily completely classic. It's the early 2000s Guardians of the Galaxy. And like, I just really liked that helmet from there, and I couldn't get it because it was only on Comic-Con exclusive Star-Lords in different box sets. And yeah, for Star-Lord, I did a lot of dark blue accents on the body, and I just thought, you know, it would look good. And you can tell me in the on the comments if it's any good. But yeah, here you can see I did a little bit of painting to try and replicate the red gloves, and I made it seem like, you know how they were pretty long, I just made it so then this piece of armor here almost seemed like the large gloves. And these holsters were just painted blue completely, no metal detailing here. And I just painted it some Cantor blue, and then I had some lead belcher. And the same with the belt here. Like, these weren't painted on the back, and this stripe here, I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be red. And if it wasn't, that's a horrible decision because it looks awesome red there. And I also did this on the Rocket Raccoon, and I forgot to say anything about it. And I did the same thing with the shoulder armor up there and the shoulder armor here, but I adjusted it so it goes down a little bit further because he's got more armor going down. And I went all the way through with it. And yeah, that's pretty much it with this Starlord. I mean, these boots were a pain to paint because it's got these very small treads going all around it, and it was real difficult to paint. And then there's just a tiny sculpted line to get these, like the steel toe bits done. So yeah, and I was thinking about adding a darker red. I forget what red I had, but I was thinking about adding a darker red on the, like, these little straps here, but then I would have had to repaint all this, so I just felt like this was good enough. And yeah, I mean, these figures are pretty good. I think I painted them well. I mean, you guys can tell me in the comments. I do have a little bit of like dry paint, and then it creates a weird texture on some bits on the figure. But yeah, tell me in the comments if I did any good with these. Okay, thank you for watching, and I think these were pretty good for my first customs. Well, I mean, I did a few customs, but they weren't that big of deals, you know. I think this is my first real good customs. And tell me how I did in the comments, and if you want any more custom figure reviews or anything that I made, just tell me in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.